Tyler did an outstanding job. He didn't feel his best from a standpoint of just looseness. You know, he was a little bit, didn't feel as whippy and loose as he normally does, but he competed. And he was able to my biggest thing, no walks again. And competed, gave us a chance to win. Didn't have his best stuff, didn't have his best fastball command, but was able to figure out ways to keep him off balance. Threw his cutter very well today. His changeup, of course, is always pretty good. But you know, found a way to compete and get it done and give us 7 strong innings. We were, you know, after the first couple innings, we're like, man, I don't know how many we're going to get out of him, but he just kept going out and competing, attacking the strike zone, and keeping him off the sweet spot of the bat. And you know, really did an outstanding job, given that he didn't really have his best stuff today. So that's 2 starts in a row where our guys haven't had their best stuff, but have gone out and competed, not walked anybody. I'm sorry, we had 1 walk yesterday, but no walks today. And it just goes to show, when you don't have your best stuff, you can still keep your team in a game and give them an opportunity to win, as long as you don't beat yourself. So they did a great job of that today. Bullpen did outstanding, scratched out enough runs to get it done. So all around, you know, good W.
Coach.
5 of the 9 hits today came from the top 3 of the lineup, and Lakeland playing long. How massive is it to have your top of your lineup clicking at this point in time?
You know, they're capable of doing that, of course. That's why they're at the top of the lineup. You know, they're starting to kind of find their swings a little bit and find their approach, and to me that's obviously huge. You know, if we can get more guys to contribute consistently, that'd be nice too. But having those 3 guys and you know, really top to bottom, there's other guys that have been doing a good job contributing as well. But it's nice to have your top 3 kind of being dangerous on a daily basis.
Coach, how good does it feel to kind of have stuck with Meyer after a couple outings before the Oregon State game that were a little rough, and to see him really do extremely well against Pac-12 competition?
Yeah, he's been doing great, and you know, we taxed him a little bit, maybe more than we should have, from a standpoint of brought him in a midweek start and then brought him back for the weekend. You know, I'm learning that's tough for these guys to do. They're certainly capable of doing it, but it is tough. But Tyler has bounced back. His last 2 starts have been really outstanding. And again, I'll reiterate it again. He didn't feel his best today, but it just kind of goes to show you, when you go out mentally and ready to compete, you can do some good things.
Coach, what was the reasoning behind pulling Levine in that 9th inning for Brock?
You know, righties coming up. There were 3 right-handers coming up right there. You know, it's just keep the ball on the ground, or at least try to keep the ball on the ground. Brock's a ground ball pitcher with 3 right-handers. Usually they don't see him too well. All that last ball was hit pretty well. The yard held it, but usually, you know, Brock's the guy that's going to get a lot of ground balls, and there were 3 right-handers in a row right there that I just wanted to make sure, you know, we didn't want any balls leaving the yard. Will gave up the 1 home run. The left-hander, you know, squared up the next ball to Mac at short. We just kind of felt a different angle, you know, change it up and bring in the guy that's his job, to get ground balls against right-handed hitters and close it out. Brock's done a great job the last you know, 6 or 7 times he's been out there. He's done a great job in closing the door. So that's the guy we go to in those situations.
Again, you've mentioned all season long, and you brought it up earlier, not giving up the free bases and how important that is. How do you just keep it up going forward?
You know, it proofs in the pudding. You know, it's not. I'm not trying to reinvent the game of baseball. It's not. It's just if you don't beat yourself, you always give yourself a chance. And you know, the numbers prove it. Like if you don't give up free bases and walk guys and make errors, you know, you give yourself a chance to win. And don't give guys extra outs and free bases. It shortens the game. It keeps innings small for the most part. And you know, if you're going to get beat by them just coming out and swinging it and buggy whipping it on you, but don't beat yourself. And again, it's no secret. Baseball's been around for a long time, and guys have success when they do that. So, side note, I just want to say I think Sean McClain played some big league defense today. That's that's as good as you're going to see, I think, in college baseball from a defensive shortstop. That was fun to watch him today. So I think that, again, he took away 3 or 4 base hits today that the average shortstop doesn't make. That's the difference in the game, in my opinion.
Coach, you spoke on the pitching. I was just about to ask about Sean and then Joe. How does it feel in your position to know that not only was some solid pitching this series, but you have that in the outfield and that at shortstop too?
Well, obviously, when you build a team, you want to be strong up the middle, and I inherited some pretty dang good middle of the diamond guys. So Mac has been outstanding, especially converting from second base and going over that side of the diamond and playing so well. Joe Lampe, I mean, what can you say about Lampe? He continues to play hard and cover a lot of ground out there. I think he was upset with himself on that ball that ended up actually being a home run that hit his glove. I didn't get to see exactly how that got out, but I do know I think it hit his glove. He was upset with himself for not making that play. I think he thought he should have made it, but he's going to give you his best effort every time out there, and he covers a lot of ground. So nice to have those guys up the middle.
Coach, do you?
Coach, what does Willie mean to you as a player and how he contributes to this team?
He's one of those guys that's just kind of a quiet leader, but when he gets on the mound, he competes. And he competes hard, and he's giving it everything he's got. He gets intense when he's out there, which I love. As long as he keeps his emotions under control, that's the main thing. But he's one of those guys, kind of like Dougie, that you can use him in a variety of different roles, and he doesn't care. He just wants to help contribute to this team and do what it takes to help win games. And sometimes it's in long relief, sometimes it's late in the game, and I don't think he'd be opposed to starting if we needed him to. So he's just that type of kid that does whatever this team kind of needs him to do, and he takes the role, whatever role we give him, and he takes it on the run and does the best he can. So you need those type of guys, and he's been around here for a bit, so he's kind of a guy in that clubhouse that's more of a quiet leader, but leads by example and just goes out and competes when he gets the opportunity.
With your team now nearing the end of its second Pac-12 series, would you say at this point in the season you have a better idea of just how the bullpen will kind of work, the roles that are being assigned to those guys? You mentioned earlier that a lot of the big things are to kind of figure out which guys could come in certain situations. Do you think that's figured out now?
I think it's starting to take shape. Certainly, there's some other guys down there that are capable of doing more than they've done so far. We're just trying to continue to squeeze that out of them and make some tweaks and adjustments. But the main thing is now that our starters have taken the reins off and they go a little bit deeper in games and are confident in doing that, and we're able to stretch them into the 6th, 7th inning. If we can do that every night, yeah, our bullpen's nice and defined. But it's just when we get a short start and then guys have to come in and overextend, that's when we get in trouble. But it's starting to kind of take shape, and we're getting a good feel of who can do what and who's best suited for what situations. And that'll continue to evolve as the season goes on as well. But as of right now, we're starting to feel a little bit better about it.
If you keep getting strong performances like you mentioned from McLean, does it make a difference maybe later in the season when you have more options in the middle infield?
We're taking one at a time, right now. So, whatever health brings us, I guess, later in the year with Hossie, we'll evaluate at that time. But, right now, Mac's playing the heck out of short, and the 2 freshmen are giving everything they can at second base, and, we'll just continue to try and keep grinding out wins.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.